Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tori, creator of Holistic Reserve, your go-to space for nervous system regulation, lunar bath rituals, and grounded self-healing that actually sticks. Around here, we blend body, mind, and spirit to help you create a life that feels calm, aligned, and full of purpose. So I'm super excited today because today's guest healer, the guest healer for cancer season, is someone who truly embodies what it means to slow down and listen to the body. Kaleen Pruitt is the founder of Sculpt Bodywork, a practitioner with over 10 years of hands-on experience offering highly intentional, intuitive, and effective massage therapy rooted in deep care and trauma-informed presence. So, before we get into introducing our beautiful, wonderful, amazing guest healer, just a little bit of what to expect from this video. We are going to talk with Kaleen about burnout in the wellness industry, everyday postural trauma and body mechanics, permission to slow down and heal, and real tangible, something you can actually take with you from this video and implement in your life, self-care tools. So welcome, Kaleen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It feels really good to hear all those nice things.
Yeah.
Like, what a warm introduction.
Yeah, I mean, you deserve it. Yeah, you deserve it. I want to start with what I think is one of your biggest missions right now, Kaleen, and that is burnout in the wellness industry.
Yeah.
So why do you think this is such an epidemic among practitioners and caregivers?
I was journaling a little bit more yesterday about the burnout cycle itself, but it's one that people don't really recognize until they've plummeted into the end of burnout. And there's so many different stages, but it's one that people don't recognize because there's this bigger system that I mistaked was like work, but it's the system that we're working within. So I've really changed the system in the way that I'm working, and I can do that because I have my own massage practice. But there's just not a lot of time for practitioners throughout their day to rest and slow down, where we're like preaching it to our clients and our patients, but we're not replicating that in our own day-to-day things, like maybe at home, but like your work, so many people, like one of the first things I ask in an interview for massage is like, what do you do for work? Because it tells me so much about how you're using your body and your body mechanics.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I mean, as someone who, like, me personally, I've experienced what you're talking about, where it's like you don't realize how much like your day-to-day movements and motions, how you're holding yourself while you're doing your work really is like impacting your physical health because it happens so gradually too.
Yeah, I'm terrible when I sit at the computer. I just like slump forward. I'm leaning on my chair right now, or the worst thing I do is I put my foot underneath my butt when I sit, just like my one leg. It's tucked under there. And I have to constantly catch myself. Like I can't, okay, now sit back or like readjust my chair and do those things. Like I don't normally do this. And then I go, wait, I've been here for 3 hours. I need to get up and move. Like this is a normal thing. And but a handful of my clients are really good about it. And they've implemented different things into their work desk where they have like a sit stand, or they will put something underneath their desk to keep their feet busy, or walk while they work, or just take moderate breaks.
Yeah.
That seems to work really well for a lot of people. But when you're in the healing space, my job, I don't sit still very well. So just like the perfect job for me. But I'm moving my body around a lot. And that's awesome. But typically in massage, we have 10 minutes between sessions, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot you can do there. And the 10 minutes quickly turns into 5 minutes. Oftentimes, if you're trying to be like, give somebody a little extra, like, okay, here's that last little thing that we're doing. Thank you, you're so sweet, goodbye. And then you wash your hands, you go to the bathroom, you pee, try to get a snack. You can't even do your chart notes, and you're taking on another client. Did you change the table? Like,
totally. Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's so rushed.
Yeah.
So burnout happens, I think, a lot without people realizing.
Yeah.
Was the summary of that.
And I mean, in that same vein, like what has been your own experience in navigating burnout in your body? Like in those moments where you have 5 minutes to kind of rush and wash your hands, reset the room, like what has been your experience in navigating that burnout in your body?
Well, trying to make all the things happen, right? We're really good multitasking people. You pace yourself throughout the day. But after years and years of doing that and like noticing other things that weren't working in the massage industry and where I was placed in the field, I needed to step out of it. But I didn't realize like I was in burnout until certain things were taking place. Like I was losing interest or I wasn't able to stay focused on my job in general. And you take on too much. It's another one of those things about burnout. I remember sitting at the computer desk being like, I know I just worked on this person today, but I have no idea what we did because my brain was so foggy. So many people are individual and like your work setting is going to be different than mine. And again, like most people are in an office setting and some people are outside, like everything's so different, but you have to be able to slow down and find breaks and have a system or routine that works for you where you're getting up and moving your body or getting some sunshine and having your water breaks and taking care of yourself throughout all of it is a basic necessity. Like,
Yeah,
the little things.
Always the little things. It's always the little things. And to that effect, like, how does your approach to body work support people moving through burnout? Like you said, like we're all individuals.
Yeah. So part of that's probably slowing down and recognizing what's going on in people's bodies. And I think this is something that people could do themselves, but we don't really have the knowledge or self-confidence, or we don't think we have all the tools, or maybe people don't have the tools. I'm trying to think back to like when I was brand new to receiving massage, I didn't know what to do or how to help my own body, but I think that's possible. So I think long term, I'd like to bridge that gap for people to have more of an awareness and like take on the self-care practice. So I want to start with practitioners and help them navigate that, I guess.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I can relate a little bit. I mean, obviously I'm not in the everyday like working on people, but I can definitely understand that effect of like it's like the stereotype of like the wounded healer, like healing everybody else and then putting our own care on the back burner. And something that I absolutely love about your work is how rooted it is in the everyday. Like you've talked about how trauma and tension show up in repetitive patterns. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. We were chatting earlier and I had given you an example of just like a classic, like somebody's raking their leaves in their lawn, right? So you're raking, you do this for like 30 minutes. The best thing you can do is switch your body mechanics, right? Because those repetitive patterns are going to hold tension in your shoulders and your arms and maybe even in your hips. Little things. Sitting at the desk, people will often have like rounded shoulders, overstretched upper back, right? Who doesn't? And then really tight pecs. And we neglect this area and we don't think that, oh, my pecs are the thing because they're shortened, they're so contracted and tight. But those are those like repetitive movements that'll get stuck in our body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and to that effect of like doing the opposite, like that pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
For that specific example, because I think that like most people are in that boat of like the rounded shoulders.
This is the thing.
Admin.
I do it too. I'm
Yeah.
constantly trying to reassess my posture, but it doesn't start at your shoulders. It starts with your feet and then your pelvis.
Okay. So how can like the average person, like what's something that they could start doing today to like when they notice it, when they catch it, what's like a pattern interrupt that they could do?
Well, one of my favorite tools is kinesio tape, and that can help reassess that pattern postural habit. When you tape the body in a upright posture, the tape will remind you to like be pulled back to that area. It's not like it's pulling on you and like holding you there. It's just a constant like, oh, I need to move. Oh, I need to reassess.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'll pull back. You do that 30 times a day, you're going to start reforming how you're holding your body. So it's a lot to do it on your own without a tool to support you.
Sure.
In that. But mechanically, you want to have your feet flat, right? And then in front of you, knees aligned with your feet. Your pelvis should be upright most times. And again, my own body, this happens. Maybe it's because I've had kids. My pelvis will dip forward. And so I'm trying to like tuck my pelvis to be up, not necessarily holding in my belly, but I'm bringing my pelvis from like this. We think of this bowl, right? It's more like being a little bit more neutral. And then your solar plexus space, this is the one that I'm learning is the most helpful for my body, is to hold that a little bit more in towards my spine. Ooh. And then lifting with my sternum. And that can help. Yeah. And that helps keep the rest of your body, your upper shoulders elevated and in line. I'm
100% using that throughout the day today.
Okay.
For sure. I love that. Yeah.
Like there's a string like flowing through, right, your whole body. There's a connection there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that whole like connection there, you've talked about like how it all contributes to like this stored tension, because like having one part of your body, one part of that alignment, like being off will create like stored tension throughout the whole body.
Yeah. And people have different commonalities, I guess. There's a lot of things that can be similar. So like this posture example is going to be very common for a lot of people. It used to be torticollis, taco neck.
And I love how everything that you do like just connects that way, because I want to use this as an opportunity to segue into like even that like moment of like you reminding me like slow down. It all okay comes back to like awareness. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I think sets you apart is like your approach to pressure and like your no pain perspective. Yeah. Could you like, why is this so important? Like, especially for trauma survivors or folks who have felt disconnected from their bodies for a long time?
I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. So I've been doing massage for a long time now. And when I was first jumping into the field, I would have some people say, no pain, no gain, like add more pressure. I'm not going to feel it. If I don't feel it, it's not going to be enough for my body. And I want to walk away feeling something. And part of that is they aren't as tuned into their bodies. So they feel like they need really deep pressure to recognize something. And for the massage to be effective, the other part is that they just pay a lot of money for a service and they want to make the most of that dollar. So it's less for them about sinking in to their body slowly. And they're just like, get in there. If it doesn't hurt, then you're not doing your job right. That's so common in the therapist perspective of what's happening. And so after years and years of doing that, and having some other, I guess, guidance, like we're all learning, right? So mentors and things, I've come to realize that it's not about the amount of pain or the amount of pressure. Like if we're moving with your body and your body's breath, that will be the right amount of pressure that your body truly needs. And it's okay to go slay with that. That doesn't mean that you're not going to leave with the effective treatment. In fact, it's going to do the opposite, where you're going to leave and have the most beneficial treatment that like your body needs and is looking for, because you know how much pressure is worth applying or like receiving, right? And you know that the pain isn't what's going to be the thing that gives you the greater outcome.
And to that effect of, you know, people getting more in touch with their like awareness with their own bodies, you've said that your clients who practice self-care between sessions often see better results. Like what kinds of things do you encourage your clients to do between treatments?
Absolutely. They see so much better results. Well, we start with our like intake first client session. setting goals and making a treatment plan based around those goals, it gives me an idea of like what clients want to work on today, but like long term. And sometimes they have their own ideas of what they're doing or what they're going to do. I will ask in my intake, what are you doing for self-care? And it's pretty funny to see the variety of things that I get, because people will put what they want me to hear, what they think I want to hear, they'll put down on their intake. So exercise or diet or reducing my sugar intake or walking. And then I'll get the opposite of like a paragraph of like, I'm putting oil all over my body. I'm washing my face every day. Sometimes it'll be like the little things throughout the day. Like I'm drinking water all the time. I'm going on walks. I'm eating this. I'm doing that. I'm going to Pilates. I'm doing my yoga 3 times a week. The people that are giving me the paragraphs, I'm like, okay, I trust that this person is doing all the things. Whereas the person saying like, I'm doing exercise for my self-care, like, sure, we're all doing some form of, we're doing our best. That's cool. But like, let's set tangible micro goals so that we can build upon those. But the people that are really doing their self-care that I'm saying that they're seeing really good results, those are the people that are like scheduling their exercise or their Pilates or doing their movement, or like they have a ritual where they're waking up and they're doing this activity, or they're really making sure they're getting their water in every day. Those are the people that are seeing the best results.
Intention.
And but so much of it is mindset too, right? You have to have the right mindset before you can set those intentions.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if someone is listening, someone's watching this, what's one thing someone can do today? Like, what's an easy something that someone can do today to support their body with intention?
Find yourself an emotional support water bottle. And maybe have a second one, because I've lost this. And then I go, husband, where's my water? And then I need to back up. So have to.
I love that, because that's so accessible too.
Yeah.
Like things like, joining a Pilates class. Not everybody has the time, not everybody has the funds, but I think
you can do a yoga video at home. There's so much free information on the internet. You can just sit with yourself and do like a quiet little meditation for a few minutes. Like you watch this video and then you want to sit there and just like breathe and close your eyes and be still in nature. Or here's the other one. Go put your feet in the grass. Take your shoes off and put your feet in the dirt, please. Like that doesn't cost you a thing. I would rather give people tools that are accessible to them than have you go out and buy a thing.
Yeah. And I think that that's one of my favorite like things that you say, like one of my favorite like things in the verbiage of the content that you put out, where it's like you have the tools, like and you have permission to heal. Like there's
I will give you permission. I actually wrote one of my clients a permission slip to go have fun and like play in her garden, because she was like, I'll get to it. I'm like, girlfriend, it's been a month. You haven't gotten to it. Here's your permission slip. I like wrote it like a prescription. It's like permission to go play in your garden.
I love that. Sometimes I need one of those.
Yeah.
You're also offering a super generous free resource to our membership portal. Can you share what that is and who it's for?
Yeah. Well, I'd love to just talk to people and help them problem solve some of their daily struggles. And I think that that's possible if we can connect virtually. So we can do that 30 minutes through a virtual meet, or you can come into my office if you're local and we can have a 30-minute appointment. So my massages, the way I run things is a little bit different. So a 30-minute massage is a true 30 minutes on the table. So we'll still have that 10 to 15 minutes time to talk. So if you're in person, you're going to get a little bit better of a deal. But if you're virtual and say you need some body support, kinesio tape is another really good tool. If you have something like that with you, I can show you and demonstrate how to tape yourself over the interwebs. But even just a chat is very valuable to ask like a personal Q&A. And I'm happy to support the people in your membership with that.
That is so freaking generous. Thank you, Kaleen, for offering to our members. Also, tell us about your upcoming retreat, Heal the Healers. And so happening from September 19th to the 22nd. What inspired this and who is it for?
So this retreat long ago was inspired during a yoga class that I was in. We just had this beautiful connection circle with like this warm, healing energy, and I felt the connectedness. And as a practitioner who's stepped away from like a group of other therapists, I'm solo. And so I've always been like plugging myself into different little wellness spaces and keeping a tight knit community of providers nearby. And I go and I do trades all the time. That's how I've given myself permission to heal, is by, and giving the other therapists permission to heal is by doing these trades. So in combination of the two, I guess the restorative kind of yoga practice was like, this is a really cool opportunity to gather those people who have been in a path like myself, who have really struggled with that burnout cycle. I've talked to a handful of practitioners who are really set on a well path, and they're like, I don't know that this is it for me, but I'm like, okay, well, if this is going to serve the right group of people that has really struggled through the burnout and hasn't quite found their rhythm. But the people who are open to learning and the people who want to do trades, and we're going to have, so it's 4 days, right? So we're going to have a lot of time to do these workshops and trades, and then also rest in between. We're going to have a private retreat and a few different trails to walk. There's a ceremonial circle. We're going to do contrast therapy, which is another one of my favorite self-care tools. We're going to have a cold tub and a hot tub. And yeah, it's going to be beautiful. Meals are included, and then we're going to be giving gift baskets, and I only really want to support small business. So there's going to be really lovely, yummy things in the gift baskets that are going to nurture the practitioner's self-care.
Yeah, that's so, like, there's so much thought and love and energy that went into the, like, the planning of, he's just over here stimming and having the best
Mama!
Yeah. The
I think
vocal stems have gotten
all out of love, right? And that
so
excitement.
Happy.
Yeah.
It's all happy. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if someone, okay, like a final word of wisdom from you, Kaleen. If someone watching this has been holding pain, burnout, or disconnection in their body, but they're unsure where to begin, like, what would you want them to hear today?
Holding pain in their body and they don't know where to begin. There's so much power in your breath. It's the thing I keep telling people too. But I mean, I can't solve everyone's pain and problems, right? But my job as a therapist is to help reduce people's pain. What is one thing? Ask me again. Again. My emotional support dog just showed up.
Oh, I love that. I will say that I have, like, what inspired this prompt was your own philosophy of, like, slowing down, listening, and trusting the healing process. So let me ask you again.
Okay.
If someone watching this has been holding pain, burnout, or disconnection in their body, like they've been really struggling, but they feel like they don't know where to begin, what would you want them to hear today?
I think it's okay to be with your body, and you can move your breath throughout your body to help manage pain. When you get more oxygen to your brain, that reduces your pain response in your body. So your breath can be a very powerful thing. But again, slowing down to recognize those patterns that might be accumulating or just repetitive, to think about what we can do in an opposite way to move your body that might relieve some of those things. Pain is such a subjective thing to each person. So I don't want to say that like breathing is going to stop all your pain and heal you. And it can be more than that, but just taking a moment to pause with yourself and maybe recognize what could be going on. And again, I think there could be some people out there that are like, that's just an unsettling thing. Maybe we need a little bit more support.
I think that would land with basically
anyone.
I mean, yeah.
It's such a broad, like, I know the people in your community are already in the healing space. Otherwise, they wouldn't have found you. So we're touching on like a certain group of people. But there are, there's the rare circumstance out there where people don't have a connection or a support. I absolutely have had to lean into my support to be able to be where I'm at today. So don't look at me and think that I've done it all on my own. It comes with a huge bag of support behind me. So.
And speaking of support and community, if this conversation landed for anyone, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment letting us know what resonated most. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, Kaleen, so much for being our guest healer and offering your wisdom and your support to our community for cancer season. And if you are wanting more grounded spiritual guidance, bath rituals, or just a cozy place to come back to yourself, I've got so much more coming your way. Okay, love you, bye.